Hello everyone, James here, and I'm going to be doing a deck profile for Lavals. Lavals are a very weird deck, because almost all the monsters in the deck have near to no attack points, and with the exception of Flammable Fire Dog, have almost no offensive power whatsoever. But they all have one thing in common. They all have 200 defense, and with a Flammable support card called Rekindling, you can bring them all out at the same time. So your opponent just thinks you're just charging in with all these weak monsters face down and basically stalling. All you do in Lavals is stall until you bring out the Rekindling card. You may think Rekindling is the problem with this deck and what makes it broken, but it's actually not, and I'll show you why. There is only one trap card you use in this deck, and I'll show you that as well. The first card you need for the deck is Laval Cannon. I'm going to go ahead and apologize that a combination of a crappy webcam and these really awful sleeves. I've learned to not like the Pro Mats at all because they're very blurry in the camera. So you need two Laval Cannons. I apologize you can't really read the words at all. These are rare dual terminals. Laval Cannon is a very good card. When you normal summon it, if the summon goes through, it instantly special summons any remove from play Laval from your remove from play area. And there are effects in this deck that remove from play Lavals, and you will find this to be very useful in duels. But people almost always say you need to run 3 of these, but you really don't because you can't see it, but these don't have 200 defense. They have actually 900 defense. Yeah, 900 defense. So they cannot be targeted by Rekindling, so they are essentially dead in the graveyard once they hit the graveyard. So if you draw these in to your hand and you have no remove from play Lavals, they're essentially useless. So I prefer having 2, and I suggest you have 2 as well. Alright, the next card is the key card in the deck. This is Laval Volcano Handmaiden, or in Japan you may know it as Laval Tender. It's basically just a little fiery chick. And when she is sent to the graveyard, if there is another Laval in the graveyard other than Laval Volcano Handmaiden, you can basically search your deck and send another Laval along with her. So if there is a, let's say, Laval Cannon in the graveyard, and she is sent to the graveyard, you can search and take another Handmaiden along with her. And this one, following the rules of the card, you can take another Handmaiden with her, sending a total of 4 or more Lavals to the graveyard when one of these is sent, just so long as the rules hit. The one problem with this card is that it misses timing a lot because it is an optional effect, so if there's another effect that goes on when this thing is discarded, it misses timing. But however, it is the key card in this deck, and this is the problem card. It's not Rekindling, it's Laval Volcano Handmaiden, because this is what sets up your graveyard for the big plays later. Because sending one sends them all, and you can get a graveyard of 4 or 5 or more Lavals in the grave just by using this one card. You don't want to draw into this. Drawing into this is bad, and you're going to need to have a Laval in the grave and set it face down. You just need to get it to the graveyard and hopefully use his effect, and not have it be a complete waste. The next card in the deck is Laval Lakeside Lady. Most people play 2, and I agree. You should play 2. Laval Lakeside Lady, while she's in the grave, if you have 3 or more other Lavals in the grave, well, she actually counts. If you have 3 or more Lavals in the grave with different names, you can remove from play her and another Laval in the grave to target any set card your opponent controls and destroy it. And this is extremely good for getting rid of back row or face down monsters. It's just really good. She is targetable by Rekindling. She's a level 3 tuner, and it's just fantastic. Absolutely amazing. But simply because she doesn't really have any other use other than in the grave, you play 2, simply so they don't clog up your hand. Okay, the next card in the deck. This is a personal tech of mine. I often get mocked for running this in my deck, but I don't care. It's Laval Forest Sprite. Laval Forest Sprite is a level 2 tuner, and it's got 200 defense, it can be rekindled, and when it is sent from the field to the graveyard, for every Laval in your graveyard, any Laval face up on the field for the rest of the turn gains attack 200 times the amount of Lavals in the grave. So when you're trying to make a final play, you're often going to have probably 8, 9, 10 or more Lavals in your graveyard because that's just how this deck runs. So if you rekindle this guy and synchro with it, it gets its effect and increases all of your Laval synchros you happen to get out. If you're going that route and not summoning Shooting Quasar Dragon or Red Nova Dragon, you can just go and summon a bunch of Laval synchros and have them gain attack with this guy, and then attack for game. He's very good. Alright, the next card is just a common from Generation Force. Sadly, it doesn't come in DT. Common is the only way to get this dude. It is Lavals Magma Cannoneer. What he does is you can send any fire monster from your hand to the graveyard to deal 500 damage to your opponent, and you can do it up to twice per turn. He is rekindleable, and he is the very basic level 4 non-tuner that is rekindleable. He doesn't have much of an effect because, sadly, if you try and discard a Handmaiden using his effect, because he deals 500 damage to your opponent, it makes Handmaiden miss timing, which is very sad. He is useful for getting rid of some into your graveyard to start a Handmaiden chain. That is one very useful feature of him. His main feature is simply that he's a level 4 non-tuner that you can use with rekindling. The next card in the deck, most people play more than one of him, but I only play one. I'm considering bumping this guy up to 2 because he's really good. Flambeau Fire Dog is a 1900 beater. He's the only monster in this deck, really, that can face anything in combat. When he kills anything in battle, you can special summon another fire with 200 defense from your deck. Special summon Handmaiden, sync for level 7. Special summon Forest Sprite, sync for level 6, with an attack boost, because it's Forest Sprite. Or even if you want to, do Handmaiden and sync for Cataster or something. He's very good. If he kills a monster by battle, and it goes through, and he is on the field to resolve the effect, he special summons any other level 200, any other fire monster with 200 defense. Okay, the next card is Boost Warrior. I play one simply because he is not totally needed. When you're trying to summon Shooting Quasar Dragon, all you need is a Rekindling, a Setup Graveyard, and a level 1. Boost Warrior simply gives you a free special summon if there's a tuner on the field, so you can special summon in defense, sync for Quasar, and you'd still have a normal summon to use. But there are level 1s in this deck you can normal summon, so Boost Warrior isn't really totally needed. He's helpful, but not, like, crucial, so I only play him at 1. Alright, now, as you can tell, Lavals run in with very weak attack power and almost no back row, so they need protection. The protection is 3 Swift Scarecrows and 2 Battle Faders. You can swap these around all you want, take out 1 Scarecrow, run a pair of each, run 3 Battle Fader, 2 Scarecrow. It's all depending on your personal preference. I like to run 3 Scarecrow and 2 Battle Fader, and this is why. Battle Fader baits out Warning. This is the main thing. Even though Warning is down to 1 as of March 1st, this will bait out the Warning because they want to attack through and deal damage to you. Taking damage isn't a good thing, but Battle Fader will bait out your Warning, and you don't want your Synchros to be warninged so you can have a chance at winning. The reason why you play Swift Scarecrow is because Macro Cosmos doesn't affect it. Well, because all you have to do is send him to the graveyard. Macro Cosmos does kill Battle Fader, but if you're being macroed by like a Macro Rabbit deck or any other deck that runs macro against you, Macro is a great side deck against Lavals, by the way. If you're being macroed, Swift Scarecrow still works, but this does not. So you need to have some protection against macro. You could even, if you're running more Battle Faders than Swift Scarecrows, I recommend then you side in Swift Scarecrows over the Battle Faders if they try and use macro against you. So that's your protection. If you don't know what these do, both of these have almost the same effect. You discard them from your hand to negate an attack and end the battle phase. The difference is Swift Scarecrow goes directly to the graveyard, and Battle Fader special summons himself, preferably in defense position so you don't take more damage. Another reason why Battle Fader isn't quite as good in my opinion than Swift Scarecrow is because Battle Fader special summons himself, and if you're trying to do a Rekindling play, having a Battle Fader on the field is going to clog up your field and impede on your play, which is not good, which is why this guy is better for other general purposes. These 5 guys are what you use to normal summon into Quasar if you don't have your Boost Warrior in your hand. Because almost always when you're trying to summon Shooting Quasar Dragon, you're not going to have normal summon that turn because you need a clean field. So you're just going to normal summon one of your level 1s, or special summon Boost Warrior, and you'd still have another normal summon if you have another monster in your hand. That's your protection. The next card is something that's kind of new, and it's expensive and stupid, and I want more of them. It's Card-Cardi. I only have 1 of them, sadly. I'm going to put more in this deck. I want 3. They're really good. Card-Cardi, all you have to do is normal summon him, tribute him, and you draw 2 cards and it becomes the end of your turn. With all the Battle Faders and Swift Scarecrows and Gores in this deck, this guy is really good because you can draw into like a Rekindling and a Scarecrow, or if you've already got a Scarecrow or a Battle Fader in your hand, you're good. You can just get free 2 cards. It's amazing. I want more in this deck. The last card that's a monster is Gores. Gores is amazing. You don't even need to question this. It's amazing. It's too good. Alright, now we're on to the spells, which has a little bit more niftiness to it. First off, the key card is Rekindling. You need 3. 3 Rekindlings. If people think Rekindling is getting hit, they're dumb. Rekindling does not need to get hit. It's Lava Volcano Handmaiden. Hitting Rekindling, since it's actually a Flamvel, card, it will mess up all the Flamvel decks. It'll mess up Fire Kings. It'll mess up some Fire Fists. Some of the Fire Fists are rekindleable. I mean, it'll mess up Lavals for good. All you really need to hit if you're going to hit something in Lavals is the Handmaiden, because the Handmaiden is what helps you set up the big graveyard plays. Rekindling, what it does is it special summons as many as many monsters with 200 defense as possible that are fire from your grave. At the end of the turn, they're all removed, if they're still on the field. When you play Rekindling, you're going to use them all in synchros. So, the one thing about this is that if you're being macroed, this card isn't good because they have to be in the graveyard. And you have to summon as many as possible. Remember that. Some people will rule shark you on that. You have to summon as many monsters as possible because they want a chance at getting some of your guys removed if you don't happen to use them in a synchro. The next card, which actually hasn't come out yet, is 3 Molten Conduction Field. Molten Conduction Field is a card that comes out in DT7 and Hidden Arsenal 7. These are the DT copies because they already are released. Sadly, they are not legal yet. This card simply sends 2 Lavals to the grave, so you can send a Cannoneer and a Handmaiden, do the Handmaiden chain, get another Cannoneer, and then you'll have 2 Cannoneers and 3 Handmaidens. That, plus a Rekindling and a level 1 in your hand, and you've got Quasar first turn. It's so good. It's ridiculous. The next card is 3 Upstart Goblins. Life points don't matter. Once you control the field with Quasar, honestly, life points don't matter. If you have Quasar on the field and you do the play right, your opponent has nothing to stop it with, other than maybe a Gorz or a Trag, or even a Battle Fate or something in their hand. That's it. Upstart gets you a free card. It essentially reduces your deck down to 37 and gets you free draws. So, even if it's increasing your opponent's life points by 1,000, it really doesn't matter if you actually get the right Rekindling play out and get that field control. The next card you need is Gold Sarcophagus. You can either play 2 or 3. I personally play 2. Gold Sarcophagus lets you take any card in your deck, remove it from play, and then in 2 turns you get it. You can get Rekindling, Conduction Field, a level 1, anything you need from the deck, just fetch it with Gold Sarc, and in 2 turns it's yours. It's very good. I have played with 3 and 2. I personally would rather play with 2. The next card in the deck is Double Duality. Duality is just too good. Draw into it, and honestly, you can pick any card you want. You can pick a Fire Dog, you can get a Rekindling for next turn, because you can't special summon when you use Duality. Your opponents will definitely stop your Rekindlings if you try and rekindle the same turn you Duality. So just don't forget that. But Duality is very good nonetheless. It won't let you down. Alright, and now for Back Row Destruction, just 3 MST heavy. Because Necro Valley, Dimensional Fissure, Macrocosmos, a lot of things you gotta kill. Wind Up Factory, just, oh my god, you need these. 3 MSTs, it seems a little extreme, but you will thank me later. They're extremely useful. Play smart. Don't be a bad Yu-Gi-Oh player. Play 3 MSTs. Then for our one-ofs, we just have Darkhole, Monster Reborn, Book of Moon. The reason why Book of Moon is played in this deck is because of Lakeside Lady. Remember Lakeside Lady's effect? Pop any face-down card they control. So you can just Book of Moon their strong monster, remove from play Lakeside Lady and another Laval from your grave, destroy it, play Cannon, special summon Lakeside Lady, synchro for 7. Attack. It's too good. Book of Moon is very important. I wish it wasn't limited. And then remember I told you about the one trap this deck plays? It's not Reckless Greed. No. It's a trap that is overlooked by many people and is actually very hard to find. It's called Treacherous Trap Hole. It is a very obscure secret rare from, Crossroads of Chaos? It's about a $15 card. This is what it does. Destroy 2 monsters on the field. Destroy 2 monsters on the field. You can't have any traps in your graveyard while you play it, though. So it's only for decks that don't use traps. It's just ridiculous in these formats. Flip this, it's totally unexpected. Your opponent just is like, whoa, holy crap, what is that? Kills 2 of their monsters. Just destroys their plays and wipes out their field. It's too good. If they only control 1 monster, you can kill 1 of your own, because having a Lavo in the grave is never a bad thing. Flammable Fire Dog also has 200 defense, by the way. It can be rekindled in a similar fashion to Cannoneer. So you can, I mean, any one of your monsters in the grave, honestly, unless it's a synchro, is good for you. So Treacherous Trap Hole is just too good not to have in this deck. Okay, so the key part to playing this Laval deck is simply synchroing. Really, you don't Exceed at all. Exceed monsters aren't that great in this deck, so I'm going to show you the various different synchro monsters you'd use. For your level 2, Formula Synchron. Recipro Dragonfly can go die. Formula Synchron, actually Recipro Dragonfly is not that bad, but this is the level 2 we play. It's Formula Synchron. It is used to summon Shooting Star Dragon and Shooting Quasar Dragon, because honestly, Shooting Quasar Dragon is pretty useless in this deck. It's a great card, but why not go for Quasar? This is just in there just because, I mean, you should go for Shooting Star Dragon in case you can. I mean, that's if you play a Stardust Dragon. But this is mainly for shooting Quasar. I'll show you how to do a Quasar play soon. If you know what this does, you can Synchro Summon it with a level 1 tuner and a level 1 non-tuner. Synchro Summon, you get to draw a card instantly. It's instant advantage. The next thing are 2 Lavals Dragons. This is a super duper good card. It's amazing. Level 5 Synchro, it's going to be one of your level 4s, which is Cannoneer or Dog. And then it'll be Laval Volcano Handmaiden. It is too good. This is one of your level 5s when you're summoning Quasar. You do 2 level 5s and a level 2. These will synchro into Quasar. And while you're doing this, before you synchro for Quasar, you can activate Dragon's Effect. Dragon's Effect allows you to take any 2 Lavals in your grave, shuffle them into your deck, to return 1 card on the field to its owner's hand. Doesn't matter what it is, Synchro, Ixie, face down, anything. Return it. You can clear their field. Return it to their hand. It's going to be great. So oftentimes you'll have 10, 12, or more Lavals in your graveyard. Well, fire monsters for that matter. It's just, Lavals. So just shuffle all these back into your deck, pop your opponent's field, sync for Quasar. Quasar has 4,000 attack and can attack twice. You win. Lavals Dragon. It's really good. I should be like an advertisement. Lavals Dragon. It's really good. Alright, the next one is Lavals Dragoon. Dragoon. It's your level 6. It's another dragon, except this one is really ugly. But despite its ugliness, it's actually very good. It will help you out. This is going to be one of your level 4s and then Forest Sprite. Or, if you already summoned Lavals Dragoon and you're done with it, just add another Handmaiden, either by Monster Reborn or Rekindling, or however you want to do it, because this deck actually syncs up a lot. If you can't summon Shooting Quasar Dragon, summon this, sync up to this, syncs up to a level 7, and then to Red Dragon Archfiend, and then to Red Nova. It's very good. This card, once per turn, you can take a Laval, add it to your hand, then discard a Laval from your hand to the grave. So you can just discard the one you just added, set off a Handmaiden chain, send a necessary Laval that you need for synchroing, for rekindling. It's just a really good card. Your level 7, you need 2 Lavals Stenons. Lavals Stenon is a level 7. It has 2700 attack. When you summon it, you have to discard a card, which isn't always the best thing. But if you happen to have a Handmaiden or another Laval in your hand, you can just discard that and get pluses off of it. It's amazing. Stenon is a card, if it's targeted by any card effect, you can remove from play a Laval to negate the effect and destroy the targeting card. So the only thing that can really kill it is something that gets higher than 27 or something that mass kills like Torrential or Darkle. It's a very good card. And then also for level 7s, we have Black Rose Dragon for wiping the field, and Ancient Flammable Deity. Ancient Flammable Deity is a monster you can summon, and for every card in your opponent's hand, you can remove from play a card in their grave. Stop some of their graveyard plays. It's really great. It gains attack times 200 for every card you remove from play from their grave in that way. So it becomes a pretty good beater too for a level 7. It often gets up to 3300 attack or so, which is one of the best level 7s you can summon. For our level 8s, we have Scrap Dragon and Red Dragon Archfiend. Scrap Dragon simply lets you target a card on your side of the field and one on your opponent's, and destroy them both. Red Dragon Archfiend is actually a really horrible card. It's mainly for going into Red Nova Dragon. You don't really want to keep Red Dragon Archfiend on the field because it kills your own monsters. It's not that great. But it's for going into Red Nova. Red Nova is a fantastic card. So those are your level 8s. And we have Shooting Star Dragon and Shooting Quasar Dragon. Shooting Star Dragon is typically not used at all. It's a last resort measure if you want to put a Stardust in your deck. But this is 2 level 5. Basically it's 1 Tuner Synchro monster, which is your Formula Synchron, and then 2 or more non-tuner synchro monsters, which is going to be your 2 level 5s in this deck. So you can summon various other things. So, and then the final card is Red Nova Dragon. So these are your 2 boss monsters pretty much. Quasar, when he happens to die, if your opponent gets around him, summons this. So that is basically how that works. And actually this isn't the final card, I have one more. But these are the 2 boss monsters. This is summoned by a tuner synchro, and then 2 or more non-tuner synchros. There's a play, I will show you how to get this out. And then this is Red Nova Dragon plus a Lakeside Lady and a Handmaiden. And it's very easily rekindleable, and it gets like 6,000 attack. It's not destroyed by card effects. It's so good. And Quasar's effect is it can attack twice. It's got 4,000. It's basically a slightly tuned down Solemn Judgment every turn. And if he dies, he summons Shooting Star Dragon. The final card in the deck, which gives you some killer advantage, is TG Hyper Librarian, a limited synchro monster. It's a level 5. You use it in your Quasar play. And while you're doing the Quasar play, you're doing a bunch of synchroing, and this will get you draw, 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 draw. It's so amazing. Combine it with Formula Synchron, draw 2 cards when you summon Formula Synchron. It's amazing. Alright, now, I'm going to show you how to summon Quasar. Here's what you do. You're going to need a certain number of cards in your graveyard. These cards are going to be 3 Handmaidens and 2 Cannoneers, or a Flamvell Fire Dog. You're going to want to have any combination of either these 5 or those 5, whichever one. You need 2 level 4 non-tuners and the 3 Handmaidens. That's all you need in the graveyard. Though you're probably going to have a few other things like a Forest Stripe maybe and some ladies that you can work with. You can summon anything you want. Synchro. Be creative with your synchroing. The way you get these in the graveyard is with a special card which I showed you called Molten Conduction Field. Molten Conduction Field, you send 2 Lavals to the grave. I'll show you what you do. You send a Cannoneer to the grave first. After you send the Cannoneer, send a Handmaiden. Since you have another Laval in the graveyard, her effect triggers sending another Handmaiden to the grave. Her effect triggers sending another Handmaiden to the grave. Her effect triggers sending another Handmaiden. Just kidding. Sending another Cannoneer. You should actually secretly play 4 Handmaidens. She's too good. No, I'm just kidding. Send another Cannoneer to the grave. So now your grave is set up for Quasar. That's all you need. Then, all you have to do is have 2 cards in your hand. You need to have a Rekindling and any level 1. It could be Swift Scarecrow, it could be Battle Fader, it could be Boost Warrior. Let's just say I have a Boost Warrior in my hand. It can be anyone because you don't normal summon the turn you Quasar. Rekindling? Rekindling does magic. It summons him, her, and him. I'm sorry for the glare here. Let me move these down a little bit. It summons those 5 lava monsters from the grave. You could also summon a Fire Dog too, because he has 2 inner defense. Here's what you do. You synchro for 5, using 1 non-tuner and 1 tuner. Summon TG Hyper Librarian. Synchro for 5. Into your choice of Cataster or Lavals Dragon if you need to wipe out their field. And then Boost Warrior, since you control a tuner. Special summon. Synchro for 2. Into your Formula Synchron, preferably in defense. When you summon Dragon, you get to draw a card. I drew into Dog. And then, for your Formula Synchron, since he lets you draw a card and he lets you draw a card, draw 2 more cards. I drew into a couple more Lavals. So I have not used my normal summon this turn. Right now, you'd activate Dragon's Effect. Dragon's Effect allows you to shuffle all these other Lavals back into your deck. You're probably going to have more than these if you've been through a decent match. Shuffle these Lavals back into your deck to blow up all these cards your opponent controls. 2 Lavals for every card to return to hand. It's too terribly good. So just kill your opponent's field. This is like first or second turn if you draw if you're lucky enough with your draw. And that's pretty much it. Synchro 5, 10, 12 into shooting Quasar Dragon. Your opponent is helpless unless they have something in hand, because you wiped out their field with Dragon. 4,000, attack twice for game. It's just amazingly good. Cataster is good in this deck too, because Cataster is good in any deck. Now I'll show you how to summon Red Nova Dragon. You're going to need a few things. You're going to need, all you need is 1 level 4 in your graveyard. That's it. That's all you need. You're going to need that. And actually, with Fire Dog, you're going to need to do a special play first in order to get out Red Nova. Fire Dog, kill something. You'll special summon a... what's its face? Special summon a Forest Sprite. These two synchro together into a Dragon. Dragon. Dragon effect activate. It's probably Dragoon. I just like to say Dragon because it sounds funny. Send Handmaiden, 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 and Lakeside Lady. You set off the chain and send those. It's amazing. Then, all you need is one card. All you need is a Rekindling. And then you've got Red Nova Dragon. Use Rekindling. Special summon out your Forest Sprite, for Flame Defense. Forest Sprite. These two synchro up into with a level 8 Red Dragon Archfiend. You. And you. And that goes into Red Nova Dragon. Red Nova Dragon gains 500 for every tuner in the graveyard. You've got a lot of tuners in your graveyard. And you've got an awesome play ready there. And it's easily exploitable. Another way to do this is to use Gold Sarcophagus to remove from play any Laval from the deck. And you remember what Laval Cannon does? If you have a Cannon and a Gold Sarcophagus in your hand, play Gold Sarc, remove from play any Laval. Cannon, you get around Gold Sarcophagus's effect. You remove from play this with Gold Sarc, get it in 2 turns? I don't think so. Summon Laval Cannon, free special summon, free Black Rose, free Stenin, free Deity. It's amazing. That is one of the most exploitable plays in this deck. It is amazingly good. I love Quasar Dragon so much, he just wins every game. I got even sleeves for Quasar Dragon. He's so amazing. Oh yeah. And that has been a deck profile on my Lavals. I hope you enjoyed it, and I highly recommend you run this deck yourself because it's a whole lot of fun. See you on the next video, guys.